So in this lecture, I'm going to demonstrate some of the easiest way on how to use Git in your projects, all right? This is something that time after time I do use in my projects and has proven to be very, very beneficial. So, and majorly I'm going to show you how to use the Visual Studio Code, all right? When you create a project and you initiate a repository in that project, when you open in Visual Studio Code, these are some of the things that it will list on that project. Down here, at the bottom left corner, you'll be able to see the branch that you are currently residing, all right? And then you see this third option here. These are for the project files, and then this is for search, and then this third icon here is for the Git. So these come pre-installed with everything that you need for Git. All right, it comes pre-installed with everything that you need for Git. When I click these three buttons here, as you can see, you have all the functionalities that we have just learned. Push, pull, clone, checkout, fetch, commit, changes, push, pull, whatever, branches, anything that we have just learned, you can find it straight here. Let me show you an example on how to perform this. So for example, if I wanted to add a remote repository, I'll just click this guy here, and then I'll come down here to remote, all right? Then I have an option for add remote, remove remote. Then I can just click add remote, and then I can just paste the URL here and click enter. That will add the remote to this repository, all right? So now let me just show you again. If let us say I add a file here, let us say this file is maybe test78.txt, like that. I press enter. So we have this file here that we have added, and this is on master branch, all right? If I click now on this icon for Git, it will list the files which I've added to this repository, all right, onto this master branch for that matter. And so this is the file that we have. Now if I hover here, you can see I have the changes to open the file, to discard the changes, to stage the changes, to revert the file, and to open the file. But usually what I will do, personally what I like doing, is that when I have a couple of files, let us say, let me just add one more file here and just say test90.txt, like this. Let us just add one more and say test98.txt, like this. And then now if I come here to the Git icon, or to the Git tab, it will show that I have 3 files. So one way that you can be able to stage this file and commit them is very simple. I just write a message here, added. So this is the commit message, added 3 files, all right? And then I just click this commit. In just some second, it will have staged the file and committed the file. Now the file are committed. I don't need to write any specific code, but it is just good that we've been able to understand the whole cycle of Git and everything that happened behind the scene. So when you'll be needed to use the code, you won't be just some dude who will start playing around with your CMD, but rather you understand everything that happens behind the scene. So that is how you should be able to work even with Git. You understand everything that happens behind the scene in code, and even when you come to these UI products such as Visual Studio Code, Android Studio, you can be able to work efficiently and you can be able to know exactly what is happening. So now I've committed the changes, and what I can do now is, let me actually do this. Let me actually switch now to another branch. I'll just click on this branch here. You see on your bottom left corner, I'll just click on master, and then it will list all the branches that I have. And in this case, I want to switch to test3 branch, all right? And now I've switched to test3 branch. So what I want to do is that I want to add a file, another file in test3, all right? Test3. So now I'm in test3 branch, as you can see now on your bottom left. And then I'll just add a file, let us say maybe re.txt, just some funny files here. And then another one will be rf.txt, enter. And then I'll switch back to this Then I'll switch back to this GitHub tab, and then I'll say added some dummy files. All right. Then I'll commit this guy. So once I've committed these guys, so they have been committed in this branch, I'll switch again to master, or I'll check out to master and be able to merge these changes. So okay, then I'll just come again here, click here, and then click master. Then I'll switch to master. Very simple, nothing complicated, so easy and very straightforward. Then here in master, I'll just click here, I'll go to branches, then I'll click merge branch. Then in this case, I want to merge test3 branch. I'll just merge test3. So when I click the test3 branch, it will merge the changes of test3 branch to master branch. And now if I go to changes, as you can see, we now have RE and REP in master. So that is how you can be able to merge changes between branches. That is how you can be able to add changes and commit changes. Imagine in around 5 minutes, I've been able to show you all these things. Isn't that cool? And lastly, what you can be able to do is push these changes to the remote changes. To push that, again, is quite very, very easy. Just come to your Git tab. Then in these three dots, click on them. Then there's this option. The one I like to use is usually this push and pull, all right, down here, and then I'll go to push to, all right, push to, and then we have the origin here, and we have the RMTP, the two origin that we added. Then I just click on the RMTP, all right, and now this will push these changes to the RMTP remote repository, all right. So the changes have been pushed to the RMTP, and now if I go to this repository and click on it, I should be able to see those files in the master branch. So now let me just switch to master branch here. All right. So now as you can see, I have those changes in master branch. Every single change that I did add on master branch. So that is one of the coolest way you can be able to use Visual Studio Code to manage Git and just to be able to do everything that you need in Git. So guys, with that, check out Git in Visual Studio Code. And with that, guys, this brings us to the end of this lesson. Thank you so much.